welcome to this festive edition of Fresh Faces, in which I will celebrate the watches that got me going this year. So please do leave your comments, like, subscribe, and let's get going with the 12 watches month by month. Not a new watch, but hey, Breguet is celebrating the 220th anniversary of the invention of the tourbillon, and that is just enough reason to indulge in unbelievably great watchmaking now, isn't it? This watch is beautifully detailed, literally every millimeter counts. The guilloche pattern, the engraving, the anglage and brushed finishing really show the most astonishing hand finishing horology has to offer. Breguet went all out on its technical excellence as well, adding two grandes complications, a tourbillon and a perpetual calendar, obviously Breguet specialties, including a Breguet overcoil, which is crazy enough, but it even has a wonderful retrograde hand as icing on the cake. Its price? Well, good luck with that, it's 236,200 euros. Pure Power has seldom looked so handsome. This is what IWC stands for. It costs a mere 13,000 euros, but within a day all 1,000 pieces were sold out, meaning that this was one of those watches that defined the beginning of the year. The original reference 3705 was introduced in 1994 and is nicknamed the Black Flieger. It was created by the legendary former IWC director Günter Blümlein, and it really was an avant-garde statement back then, and it still is. The IWC pilot's watch 3705 was made to impress, and that is exactly what its tribute did. To my humble opinion, this is a criminally underrated German brand. After wearing these two different versions of the Panomaticlunar, I really couldn't understand why this watch doesn't get more attention. Apart from that impossible name, obviously. There's just so much to love about it, from its quirky modern classic design features to the price to the incredible attention to detail. It's really easy to fall in love with it. And if you turn a watch around, love turns into pure boner-making stuff, because if you love watches, this is probably the reason. Seen through the large glass caseback is the filthy sexy caliber 9002, the stuff that gives Glashutte its good fame. The caliber was developed and produced in-house, has a 42-hour power reserve, a 21 gold off-centered rotor and a duplex swan neck fine adjustment regulator. Thanks to the traditional and beautiful 3/4 plate, all the organs are on full display, and the finishing is just as stunning. It has the balance bridge engraved by hands, beautiful Glashutte ribbings and beveled edges, and it even has a main plate with Glashutte stripes. The Heuer Auqaracer made a surprising comeback in 2021 with the Professional 300. It comes in a 300-meter water-resistant steel case which measures 43 mm and nearly 50 mm lug to lug. On the wrist it actually holds its size quite well, mainly because of its relatively slim profile. It's obviously a big watch, but you can still wear it under a shirt. And they did a good job on the bracelet as well, as it's rather slim and comfortable. Oh, and yes, it has a fine adjustment clasp. Or should I choose the Black Bay ceramic here? Tudor was on a roll this year, introducing one cool hit after another, seemingly impressing everyone along the way, but I think the 925 stands out most. The silver casing combination with the taupe dial and bezel really was the combination no one expected. And after having worn it on the wrist for quite some time, I can say there really is no watch that looks anywhere near it, not even other Black Bays. Although I do have a slight reservation on the taupe color. Will it stand the test of time? It seems to me it's quite a fashion sensitive color, although when it was introduced it really hit all the right notes. Lug to lug is excellent, the colors are very cool, but it is that silver glowing case that does miracles to brighten up even the moodiest people in the room. And with that brushed finishing, it gets a sort of hologram depth to it, making it totally different from any normal steel watch. Meistersinger makes great watches that stand out, showcasing the philosophy of this company with affordable, reliable and tasteful creations full of character. And all of their watches only have one hand, which gives the pieces their own personality. But it also has a deeper meaning, because Meistersinger believes the time should be enjoyed without too much pressure, and a single hand shows you the time in a more relaxed way. And indeed, Unomat really offers quite a lot of watch for nearly 2,000 euros. And the aspect that gives you this watch a bit more is the design that stands out. On the wrist it feels sturdy and masculine without being garish at all. Its restrained design works perfectly well in nearly every occasion, and to my honest opinion it's quite big, but this is a watch that would perfectly fit the city lifestyle, combining work with binges at the bar and straight back to work. If you're going to roll up your sleeves, this is definitely something you'd like to surface from underneath. This specific Datejust was featured next to nowhere when it was launched, which is a big miss. Whenever Rolex decides to do something, it's a perfect thing. Now that's quite annoying, because we all want to see the good looking and popular champion of everything to finally fall flat on its face, but that's just not how Rolex works. This year they decided to show their expertise in dial making, and boy did that work out well. One watch I think is one of the best examples of that expertise is this understated, finely detailed and underappreciated Datejust. It has a very fine pattern on a dial that changes with the shine of the light. The pattern also goes fantastically well with the signature fluted bezel and jubilee strap, and is unlike anything Rolex has ever done before, perfectly showcasing the expertise Rolex has on dial making. A watch we had all been waiting for, and it didn't disappoint. This slightly smaller version of the excellent and reasonably priced dive watch by Oris is a straight hit if you ask me. Delivered with the stunning caliber 400 movement, which offers 5-day power reserve, 10 years without service and chronometer worthy accuracy. And to keep it stone cold in the face of magnetism, it has a silicon escape wheel and silicon anchor. Oris told me that their fundamental ambition was to eliminate problems before they occur, and that nearly literally meant they had to reinvent the wheel. And with an even more stunning dial, this piece got me revved up for real. Family owned and recently restructured, Doxa focuses on what it does best: dive watches. Presented at the Geneva Watch Days in September, Doxa made quite a splash with this limited edition watch that was sold out within the week. Their star of the show was the Sub 600T Pacific, produced in collaboration with Time & Tide, and these Aussies have made all the right choices. It's affordable, it's summerish, it's made of titanium, and it's 600 meters waterproof. And it will come back in steel next year. This new watch has a stunning blue dial and a 50 meters water resistant 42mm steel case, which measures 49mm lug to lug and 11.4mm in thickness. It also has a glass case back so you can admire the mechanical movement, which is the Sellita SW261. Fromanteel combines contemporary design with timeless elegance and quality. As they say, the brand resonates with those who value quality time. Now, I've known them for about 10 years now. I've even owned a Fromanteel watch, and I've seen them grow from startup to a very serious watch company, and this pendulum is proof of that evolution. The elegant design and smart use of minimal decoration like the railroad around the dial really is on point, and it has a small second at 6 o'clock with a nicely finished sub-dial. I also love the dark blue color that fits nearly every occasion, and I like the leaf style hands even more, especially because they've got the perfect length and a very subtle shape. It's understated yet out there, it's modern yet elegant, but most of all I am sure this is the perfect everyday companion to start your collection with. Of course, I could not make a list without mentioning the big trigger I pulled myself this year. About after a decade of dreaming about it, I finally made it happen and added the Milgauss to my collection. And wow, it didn't disappoint. With its lightning bolt orange hand, its green tinted glass combined with the clean lines of that oily smooth bezel, this Milgauss really is unlike any watch I've ever seen. It's not a safe choice, and that might just be why you don't see this watch everywhere. Having fallen in love with the watch about a decade ago, I never really dared to actually buy it. Scared that those expressive details might bore me after a little while, I always went for the safer choices. But when I pulled the trigger on it this fall, I instantly knew I was doing the right thing. From the moment I first saw it in a Rolex boutique in Amsterdam to the moment I left the building with it, I was walking on air. Buying a Rolex is one thing, but buying a Rolex of your dreams is quite another. And if you follow my channel, I will keep you updated on my radically honest thoughts about it. I ended the year in the golden surroundings of the German Schwarzwald to get into deep with Junghans, a brand I think is vastly underrated despite heading into the right direction. The watch they showed me there was full of proof of that statement, and it tells a story that's so much deeper than meets the eye. Yes, its stark German design is reminiscent of the much more famous Max Bill, but nobody seems to understand that the Meister is so much older and actually set the design rules. Max Bill duly followed and has a better watchmaking pedigree overall. The solid gold case, the diamond point finishing of the hands, the satin-like dial, the incredibly good looking domed glass case back with intelligently redeveloped movement, it's all proof of the right direction Junghans is going. And to see more of that, please do follow me into the next year. Hello? Are you still there, or are you already drinking champagne? Well, if you're doing that, I'm definitely going to join you. But first, please do leave your comments on the watches. Please let me know what your thoughts are on next year, which watches you would like to see. And of course, do like, subscribe and come back next year.